Throw another log on the fire, maybe sing some carols and get ready for the holidays. Actually, it's SEC opening weekend. Rolls on from Baum-Walker Stadium. Good day to knit a scarf. Auburn Tigers looking for their first conference win, and the Razorbacks trying to win this opening weekend series. Nice flyover took place right after the national anthem before the game today. Hey, welcome to the booth. Brett Dolan, Troy Eklund, thanks for joining us again. It is cold outside, but there will be baseball. Yesterday, Auburn scored the first 2 runs. Then the Razorbacks rattled off 7 straight to get the W.
Yeah, I think the big 5-run fourth inning for Arkansas really changed the game and really got Arkansas on a roll.
For Auburn, though, they got things cranked up with a home run. It was a good beginning for the Tigers.
Yeah, Kason Howell really hit a scorcher into the bullpen. That was the first run of the game. And then with bases loaded, Caden Green hit the sacrifice fly and drove in a run. And then it was Arkansas's 4th inning. 2 walks and the Brady Slavin's 3-run home run really set the tone. Another pair of walks and Parker Rowland comes up with an RBI single. And to cap things off, Tavian Josenberger got himself an RBI as well.
Hogs had a well-balanced offensive attack, 7 runs on 8 hits, even a swinging bunt hit from Jared Wagner. Scored Bolton. And the Hogs again posted the W. Holland got the victory. Hagen Smith earned the save, and Brady Slavins had the lone home run for the Razorbacks, but it was worth 3. So now in game 2, much different wind conditions, same cooler temperatures on the thermometer. Will McIntyre will make the start.
Well, McIntyre is really pitching well after he got hit in the leg and figured out that he was striding a little too far and kind of throwing his rhythm off a bit, and he's going to sit in that upper 80s to low 90s to the fastball, and the cutter is what's really been working for McIntyre.
Indeed it has. Let's take a look at the lineup he will face. For the Auburn Tigers, no surprise Howell back in that leadoff spot. That is Foster, Irish, Ware, and Kirby. Dial catching, Stanfield and left. Bello the DH, Brody Moss at second base, batting 9th. Here's Kason Howell on the first pitch. Found back and out of play, and we are underway. 37 degrees. Winds howling out at times towards left field. Howell's home run yesterday afternoon equaled what he did a year ago from the home run standpoint. This one shot out towards right. Borfin gliding to his right will make the catch for out number 1.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 7, Cole Foster.
Well, McIntyre has a similar defense behind him. Wagner, Josenberger, and Borfin. Cole back at third, Bolton at short. There's John putting that hand in his pocket. Stovall and Slavins on the right side of the diamond. Hudson Polk is behind the plate.
The only saving grace for the players is the wind is blowing out of the north, so the stadium is blocking that wind down the field. Now the outfielders are definitely catching the brunt of that wind. There it is, wailing right there, and the ball's going to fly out of Baum-Walker today.
See some ski masks and everything else. Wave and a miss from Foster, who yesterday extended his hitting streak to 11 games with a first inning single, also with a couple of walks. Mentioned Polk, though, catching McIntyre. He caught Will last Saturday in that 9-inning complete game 1 unearned run performance. 2-strike pitch. There's that cutter of his. And again, it has slider velocity similar to Kevin Kopp's, and it might be a pitch some would consider a slider, but it is a cutter. I mean, it doesn't have the horizontal break at all. It is a downward tilt.
Yeah, he really gets those fingers on top of that baseball. Again, not a lot of break, but just enough to miss barrels. I think this is one of those games you want, if you're on defense, you want your pitcher to work really efficiently and quickly.
Foster hitting .444, so he, along with Irish and Ware, have had tremendous batting averages. Kirby's provided a little bit of pop. Yesterday, the 2 runs on 6 hits. Now, Hagen Smith did throw in excess of 40 pitches in 3 scoreless innings of relief. He got the save, but I don't know if that would mean he would be unavailable come Sunday, but Arkansas would like McIntyre to give them another deep outing. And that pitch is Anthony, strike 3 called. Michael Durantis calling balls and strikes, rings up Foster for the second out.
See Foster having a conversation with Ike Irish, trying to give him a few tips on what he saw out of the right hand of Will McIntyre. But McIntyre looks like he pulls a changeup right there, and the ball kind of rattled around the glove of Polk behind the plate.
Here is Ike Irish. He's averaged at .446. Hard to believe on St. Patty's Day Irish would go 0 for 3 when he had 13 multi-hit games in his team's first 17. Still a tremendous season. You see the OPS. Looking for his first collegiate home run for the Michigan native.
Kind of an unusual hitting stance, has those hands way up by that shoulder.
What was the comment Butch Thompson told the SEC Network crew on Tuesday? He doesn't hit the ball over the wall, he hits them through them.
It's going to be an absolute superstar for Auburn.
He spreads out wide almost the entire length of the batter's box. Waits on a two-strike pitch from McIntyre. Here it comes. A little bit up and out. Really good two-strike missed pitch.
Yeah, the thing I think that is a difference maker for Ike Irish is, as a freshman, he really has a great command of the strike zone. Anytime that you can not expand that strike zone with swings, you're going to be dangerous.
Got a piece of that one and fouls it back. And again, he came in as a catcher, playing some first. I would imagine he might DH a little bit, but regardless, that bat is in the lineup every single game. Fly out and a strikeout to begin this one. McIntyre a long pause before another two-strike pitch. Chopper right to Bolton. That is a perfect bounce. A little bit of a low throw, but Slavin's there, and the inning ends. And the Tigers go in order. Good beginning for McIntyre and the Razorbacks coming into bat.
I'm getting backyard cookout vibes. Inside? Oh, that's the new DQ Backyard Bacon Ranch Signature Stack Burger. Now you can take the backyard anywhere with honey barbecue sauce and house-made Hidden Valley Ranch. You guys are taking this backyard anywhere thing really seriously. Maybe next time you'll take that DQ Backyard Bacon Ranch Signature Stack Burger to, you know, the actual backyard.
We need a hose.
Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
I'm stoked for this game.
Yeah, look at the size of that line, though.
Okay.
Nice.
It's an interesting look for Zach Crotchfeld. He's going with that ski cap pulled over his ears and the cap on top. I don't blame him. Here's his numbers on the season. 4.41 earned run average and 16 in the third innings of work.
Another good strikeout to walk ratio by these Auburn pitchers. And Crutchfield's got a live arm. He'll sit in that low to mid 90s, might even hit 96. Mix in a curve and a change, and that fastball, it's definitely got some carry as well.
Here's the lineup he's going to face for the Razorbacks. Josenberger, Stovall, and Wagner. Slavin's homered yesterday over the scoreboard. Borfin, Diggs, and Cole. Polk catching, Bolton at short. Tavian Josenberger, is he under that helmet? Can we see him? Can he see the pitcher with his ski mask on a 37-degree day? I would say for Tavian, in a couple of hours, he has a decision to make. Here's a guy who was a Kansas fan, went to KU, and now he's a Razorback, and there's a basketball game at 4:30 where he's going to have to find his way off the fence. Which side will it be?
I think he's going to have to bleed red now instead of that Jayhawk blue.
He did say whoever wins the game should just go ahead and win the national championship, so that was well played. Switch hitter's going to bat right-handed, second start in a row that the switch hitters have batted right against the Auburn lefties. Tavian had a couple of base hits, an RBI, and a walk and a stolen base yesterday in the win. And the first one from Crotchfeld in there for a strike. Crotchfeld's coming off a performance against Southeastern last Saturday where he went 5 scoreless innings, gave up just 3 hits. didn't factor in the decision as Southeastern won the doubleheader. His worst start came against USC. He's pitched against Indiana and Lipscomb.
I think that might have got a piece of Dial, the catcher.
Sure did. Michael Durantis, the plate umpire, walked that baseball out to Crutchfield. Crutchfield has a hoodie on, doesn't he? He got that hoodie behind his back in the jersey?
I think he took it down. He had it up around his ears.
He did. He pulled it down.
Hey, whatever it takes on a game like today.
He should have just gone ahead and pitched with that on. There's a chopper towards short. Big hop for Foster. Quick release, and that's going to end up against the railing of the dugout. I thought that might hit our cameraman or maybe go into the netting. Kangaroo bounce for Foster, and Troy, it's going to be curious how this cold affects these infielders once they have to grip that ball and throw.
Yeah, that ball is going to be slick. And you can see right there, just a little too quick on that throw right there by Foster. He had a lot of time on that because it got out to him fairly quickly.
He's looking at those fingers as if he needs a little bit of rosin or pine tar. Next man in is Peyton Stovall. Peyton had a sacrifice fly in the game, also walked and scored, but part of a hitless 0 for 3 contest. Dropped his average down to 328.
Crutchfield's going right after these Arkansas hitters, just pounding that strike zone with the fastball early in the count.
Tavian was going back to the bag at first, and that one was in the dirt, and Dial able to smother it.
Anything in the air is going to be interesting. Pop-ups and fly balls. If you're an outfielder, you can't give up on it because it might blow out to you.
Now, the tough part for the outfielders, BP was not taken on the field. The Mercy BP was in effect when they used the indoor behind Baum Walker, so it's much more comfortable. But outfielders can't track fly balls off the bat.
I thought it was interesting that Auburn had a pitching machine that was shooting pop-ups to the infielders. I thought that was a pretty wise decision.
Did take infield. There's your defensive alignment for the Tigers. Different second baseman, different catcher. Arkansas in this homestand, 14-1. The lone loss was to Eastern Illinois. They were almost run ruled on their home field, but they've won every single game other than that one in what will be an 18-game homestand after they get through the Tuesday midweek game.
Stovall showing some good patience at the plate. I think that's why Arkansas had success against Tommyville yesterday. They just waited till they got into a plus count.
Pretty good job of identifying balls and strikes. 3-1 to Stovall. That is outside. That is ball 4. So how about a couple of free base runners for the Razorbacks to begin their first inning?
Batting for the Razorbacks, the left fielder, number 11, Jared Wagner.
There's Jared Wagner.
This is a Auburn team that came into this ball game fielding .982, which is absolutely outstanding. So they would love to try to turn a double play right here.
Wagner's numbers continue to impress. Batting average right at 400, 30 runs batted in. That OPS off the charts. What impressed me about Wagner yesterday was the fact that he was able to get 2 singles, one a little dribbler, one a soft grounder up the middle, walked twice. Not a lot of hard contact for a man who's done nothing but, yet he still goes 2 for 3, scores a run, knocks in a run. Dow didn't catch that clean.
Might have been a borderline strike. I think if he comes up with that, count might be 1-1.
For the Razorbacks this year, they've outscored their opponents by 71 runs. They've almost outscored their opponents by as many as they have allowed this year. Big innings have been a part of it. We'll document that later on. Looking for some damage here, and so was Wagner. I mean, yesterday Arkansas did not score until they got a couple of free base runners, and then Brady Slavens hit a 3-run homer over the scoreboard and right in the 4th. Wind was blowing to right yesterday, blowing more towards left today. And Wagner usually doesn't need the help of Mother Nature, but just getting a ball airborne might really cause some problems. Crotchfeld working down and in, trying to stay away from the heart of the plate, but missing the plate entirely.
He threw a really good 2-0 pitch. It was actually off the plate. He got Wagner being a little over aggressive. It was a fastball up and in. Let's see what he does right here.
Here's the 3-1. Fouled back.
Another pitch out of the zone. A high fastball that Wagner chased.
I bet Jared played in front of some small crowds and some frigid days in Creighton last year. The 3-2 fouled back. Only difference here at Baum Walker, people keep still showing.
Yeah.
They just bring the parkas.
It's 10,000 on a 35-degree day.
Here's some blankets. There's my fan right there with the coveralls and that, I don't know what you call that thing he's wearing, that hat. Right behind Wagner. Flipped to second, and Josenberger was just a few steps off the base. I feel like this is a big batter for Crotchfeld. Hopefully Tavian again can see. Three balls, 2 strikes to Wagner. Crotchfeld's pitch, wave and a miss, big one to get the strikeout. A 94-mile-an-hour fastball keys Wagner for out number 1.
Yeah, the good job by Crotchfeld right there. He was living up in the zone against Wagner. That was another high fastball. It definitely was a strike, but he wasn't trying to work him down. It was a big out right there for Auburn.
Sure was. Now it's lefty, lefty, lefty in this Arkansas lineup. And Slavin sitting 304, couple of home runs, one of those yesterday. Serves one foul down the line in left. Arkansas's lefties are hitting extremely well against left-handers. They just haven't seen many of them, so the numbers can be a little bit skewed by some early success.
I think that's going to change in conference play.
Good.
I think you're going to see
so.
a boatload of lefties get the starts against Arkansas.
Josenberger at second, Stovall at first. Another one hit in the air, but fouled to the third base side. Now to play.
I don't know if anybody in their right mind would put a hand out.
Let's hope everybody's okay. Two-strike pitch, and that's not what Crotchfeld wanted to do.
Hit him with a slow breaking ball, but you can still see it took a chunk out of Slavin's. See where it catches Brady right here. Back of the tricep. Even on a breaking ball, felt really painful. Even the kids are wearing the beer hats today.
Hey, those are some sunglasses. You need a pair of those, Troy.
Man.
Chase Borfin, the batter. The 5-hole this year has been where all of the production for Arkansas has occurred. Yet yesterday, I think, was the first time all year the 5-hole didn't at least get a base hit or more. And Chase was 0 for 3, did walk and score in that big inning. But a chance to do some damage here, and it was swung on and missed into the glove of Dial.
The thing that Crotchfeld's doing is he's keeping that baseball out of the middle of the plate. That last fastball is on the outside corner.
Borfin checks it a high one, quick appeal, but that wasn't close. Scott Klein at third. Just no.
Josenberger was helping him out too. He was like, nope, nope. My teammate didn't go.
Crotchfeld's next pitch. Good swing, fouled back. Tell you what, blowing on your hands, going to your mouth, almost imperative today, but it just doesn't do much. I mean, you can blow on those hands, and by the time you're ready to pitch, I feel like you're throwing a billiard ball. Waving a miss.
Another big strikeout. The freshman Crotchfield, when he needs it, he is stepping up and throwing some big-time pitches.
Struck out Wagner and now Jace Borfin.
Again, the fastball up in the zone in that upper quadrant at 94. That's why it's got that fastball's got some carry too.
Kendall Diggs in. Kendall's hit 6 of the team's 35 home runs. Had a single and 4 at-bats in the series opener. Drives one to the gap and left center field. This is trouble. It's down. It's going to go all the way to the advertising, and it's going to score 3. Kendall Diggs with another big hit with runners on base. And the Razorbacks have a 3-0 lead. What a great approach today to be able to slice the ball the other way and drive home 3.
I love Diggs' aggressiveness. Early in the count, he saw the best pitch he's probably going to see his whole at-bat and just hits a bullet out into left center. And with Slavens being able to have a big lead at first base, he scores easily on that gapper.
So an error, a walk, a hit batter, and all 3 are cashed in. For Crotchfield, he made a couple of big pitches to get 2 strikeouts. I'm sure that's disappointing. Now he needs to retire Harold Cole, who bats 7th.
Dow, the catcher, trying to get something out of his eye. But yeah, the free base runners really came back to haunt Auburn in this inning.
Cole is a homer, 6 batted in. Hit well to center, but tagged right to Howell. He's got it, inning over. Razorbacks get 3 runs on 1 hit. A good beginning for game 2 of this series for the Razorbacks. Well, it feels like the SEC continues to dominate the top 25. LSU there at number 1, Tennessee, Ole Miss, Florida. I mean, before you even get to the 8th team, it's just about an SEC invitational. A&M, South Carolina, Alabama, also part of it.
The third baseman, number 8.
It's just a gauntlet. Every weekend is so tough. You can't ever catch your breath in the SEC.
I took a look at what the projected draft list was from Baseball America a couple of days ago. And again, the top 10-ish picks all look like they're SEC individuals. Bryson Ware checks a swing on the McIntyre pitch to begin the 2nd. Cruz 1st, Langford, Florida 2nd, Skeens, LSU 3rd, Dolander, Tennessee 4th, high school kid 5th, Jacob Gonzalez, Ole Miss 6th. Welcome to the SEC.
That does not surprise me. The way Paul Skeens is pitching, he may climb the ladder a little bit higher.
Might.
When you go 6'6" and about 230 pounds and you throw 100 miles an hour.
Electrifying last night in College Station. Ware had a bunt hit, scored a run yesterday for Auburn, so his .424 average continues to look really good with 7 homers. Looked like he might have rolled his ankle yesterday while in the field.
Yeah, I hope he's okay, because he is a guy that Auburn really needs, especially after all the other injuries they've had this season.
Another good 2-strike pitch by McIntyre to push that off the corner, but he didn't get the chase swing from Ware.
It's a great pitch, but also a great take.
Next one to Will. To Ware is inside, maybe a little bit high too. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the Tiger leadoff hitter. Just off the corner, Ware had some pretty good takes and earns the walk to begin the Tigers' 2nd. So McIntyre again threw a complete game on less than 100 pitches last Saturday. 97, gave up a run, but it was not earned. had just one walk, so he issues a walk here. I mean, he was at 72 pitches through 7 innings, 82 through 8. Walked the first batter he faced in the 9th, then went fly out, pop up, strikeout.
Yeah, he was really feeling it in that game. And again, it was the cutter that he was able to land. Not only would he throw it away to righties, but he didn't throw the front door cutter as well.
Kirby has 7 home runs. Next pitch, and McIntyre keeps nibbling just a bit. Arkansas had been dead last in team earned run average for really the first 3 weeks, and once McIntyre threw that gem, they worked their way to 13th and 12th, and they've started to climb out from the bottom. Right now, McIntyre's missed on a few, but not by much. 2-0 pitch. Now he catches that outside corner.
He's really trying to stay away from these Auburn hitters, and especially that wind blowing out. And this is an Auburn team that really doesn't run much, 12 of 15 in stolen bases this year.
Seems like that's where the battle is going to be as far as how much of the plate do these pitchers catch, knowing that the wind could really crush them. Do you continue to try and shoot off the corner to see if the hitters will be aggressive? And if they do not, and they're willing to take that pitch that's a ball, then when you come over to the plate, can they make you pay?
Yeah, McIntyre has yet to try to go into an Auburn hitter.
And that's ball 4. So back-to-back walks.
I think he's just trying to nibble just a little too much. Another good at-bat. Ware and Justin Kirby really good command of the strike zone.
Now batting the catcher.
What Butch Thompson said about yesterday's game might apply to his team in this inning. He said Arkansas was opportunistic, and this is an offensive ballpark. Well, for Auburn, they've got a couple of base runners, and now if they can get a big swing from somebody, they could use that offensive ballpark to their liking. Ryan Dial, the catcher, has 19 at-bats and 5 hits. Strike called inside corner.
Seems like everything McIntyre's throwing is that glove side, which means it's into lefties, away from righties.
You don't suppose that wind's pushing some of those pitches away from the corner, do you?
I don't think it's really that windy. I think he hit it.
Sure did. And now the bases are loaded without the benefit of a hit. First 3 men up here in the second inning.
And again, missing up and into left-handed batters. Dial does a good job just holding his ground.
Matt Hobbs out for a visit. It will be enforced, these 30-second mound visits, and to the point where our plate umpire Michael Durantis is already halfway out there before the clock's counting down to 6. Hobbs didn't even get out there until it was about 21 seconds or so of the 30 on the clock.
Yeah, so the 30 seconds starts when the coach comes out of the dugout and they hit the green grass right in front of the dugout. That's when the 30 seconds starts, and then with 9 seconds, the umpire goes out and tries to speed things along, and that's all around the pace of play.
Would say that's textbook right there as far as how they want that enforced. But if it's something mechanical, you better talk fast. If it's a pep talk, you might want to start before you even get to the hill.
Or run out there.
Well, maybe so. Chris Stanfield, the hitter. Now McIntyre came in, but he missed.
Everything's up in the zone for McIntyre.
See the numbers for the freshman Stanfield. He's knocked in 10. I will say, while 97 pitches is not a ton, I got to believe you need a couple of days to kind of get your body back on track.
Yeah, I think so. If you're McIntyre, you're not used to going that many pitches.
Ground ball to second. Can the Razorbacks get 2? There's a flip, a step, and even the speedy Stanfield is able to reach and beat it to get an RBI. So the Hawks maybe a little bit slow on that exchange up the middle. A run will score. They would have gladly
Arkansas
traded a run for
the safe call at first
2
base.
outs.
Previous plays under review.
Hey, there's our umpire communication.
That ball was a bullet, and You see, Stovall had to
Waiting.
wait right there for Bolton just even to get there. Bolton was playing probably deeper than you normally would on a double play opportunity. Let's see what it looks like right here.
Safe.
I think he's safe. Stanfield's helping him out,
Sure
too.
is. He called it twice, just in case Danny Cricks missed it the first time. Regardless, a run comes across, so it's a 3-1 game. That replay, though, showed you why Stovall had to hold it. He was just waiting for Bolton to quickly get there so he could flip it near the base.
Yeah, off the bat, you thought, okay, there's no way that's not a double play. Stanfield runs exceptionally well. But, yeah, it was the positioning of Bolton just having to take a while to get there. See, Bolton was not even in the picture. And one thing Bolton did, too, is he caught that baseball kind of away from his body, and his throwing hand wasn't close to the glove.
After review, the call of safe at first base is confirmed. Arkansas is charged with its first challenge.
Good hustle by Chris Stanfield.
Good hustle by a crew. That did not take very long.
The big thing for Arkansas is now they just have one out. There's an opportunity for a sac fly.
3 runs isn't going to win this game anyhow, but I know McIntyre didn't want to give him back after his team scored 3 runs on 1 hit, all unearned, in the bottom of the inning, bottom of the first. Mike Bello fouls one back. Bello's had 17 at-bats on the season. Sophomore from Oak Ridge, New Jersey. He was the #1 outfielder in New Jersey by perfect game. He wrapped up his high school career.
Stanfield is 2 for 2 on stolen bases. You have to think that he's going to stay put with the left-hander at the plate, and Bello trying to keep that big hole between Slavens and Stovall open.
Pitch not close.
Again, another pitch up out of the zone high. Not really where you want to throw your changeup is, up in the zone.
Couple of walks, a hit batter, a fielder's choice, and a 1-1 count to Bello. Good swing, but fouled right back. Auburn has been a come-from-behind team, including their 12-inning victory against Georgia Tech Tuesday at home. 7 different comebacks this year. They were down 3-0 right out of the gates, trying to get a few back here in the second. Stanfield had to swim to get back to the base. Those legs were churning as he was diving back in. McIntyre needs it out. Fouled away.
Nice job by Bello right there, spoiling a pitch that was up and away, almost out of the strike zone. Might see if McIntyre doesn't try to maybe throw a backdoor cutter, just try to nibble on the outside corner.
Another one lifted but fouled to the left and out of play. Will McIntyre investing quite a few pitches this half inning.
I was thinking the same thing. He is having to grind through this second inning.
Almost threw that one away.
Good job by Slavens to save a run right there.
One ball, 2 strikes to the DH Bello. Smothered by Polk. When you're at first, you have to be ready for anything, including pickoffs like this. Our first base umpire, Danny Cricks, was ready in case that one was coming at him.
That was almost snow coned over there by Slavens.
2-2. Soft liner. Cole can't get it. They're going to get the force at second barely, and the runner at third, Kirby, could not score because he thought that ball was going to be caught. So out of all that, it remains runners at first and third, but now there's 2 outs.
What a crazy play right there. And I don't think anything would have changed if he catches that baseball, but just kind of a little line drive, and Cole just bobbles it.
Well, I thought Kirby still had a chance, though, if he reads that to try and score, though, Troy, but he didn't.
That's just such a tough thing, because you see that line driving as a base runner at third base, you're thinking, I got to get back to the bag.
But once that was dropped and kicked towards short or towards second, I thought maybe he might take off, because Cole's only play then is to try and get the force at second base. Here's Brody Moss, the second baseman. Takes a strike. I asked Cole today how much third base he played at San Jac, and he said none. I mean, it was short and a little bit of second. And he knows that, hey, it's a reactionary position on bunts, on crazy plays. There's also at-bats at third base right now on this Razorback team. In fact, it was former Arkansas third baseman Caden Wallace. How about yesterday? Made his first Cactus League start. He started for the Royals in a game against the Angels at Tempe Diablo. Batted ninth, went 0 for 2, but the Royals have a lot of guys in the WBC. They've had some split squads. They've needed some minor leaguers, and he got a chance to start a Cactus League game.
That's really cool.
2 strikes on Moss, batting ninth in this Auburn lineup. McIntyre trying to end the inning, off and running is Bello. Fouled back again.
Auburn should really love to chalk up another run right here. Arkansas trying to get out of it.
Here's the 0-2. In the air to right. Sending Borfin back on the track, fielding for the wall. Catch is made. Inning over. A little bit of everything that frame, but 1 run for the Tigers against McIntyre. Well, here's your SEC Weekly Awards. There's Co-Everything. Hunter Gilliam, Co-Player of the Week, along with Connor Tate. 4 home runs. We'll get you in that conversation. So will 13 hits. Will McIntyre, along with Thatcher Hurd, Co-Pitchers of the Week. 11 innings, no runs for Thatcher Hurd. Jared Jones, all he did was hit 4 home runs. I would say that's a big-time year. Big-time week for Jared Jones, but Paul Skeens of LSU might be a candidate next week. All he did was go 6 1/3 scoreless innings for LSU and struck out 11 against Texas A&M.
And I don't think he threw a fastball under 97, is from what I heard. So, yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Hudson Polk, the batter, quickly 0-2. LSU's won 12 straight. With Arkansas's victory yesterday, they have won 11 straight. Couple of base hits for Polk this year, one of those a home run. He's facing Crotchfeld, who gave up 3 unearned runs on 1 hit. There was an error, there was a walk, there was a hit batter. And that's going to be a wave and a miss. We saw Butch Thompson kind of meet him on the warning track after that first inning was over and kind of escort him, being kind, right down into that dugout. So there was some conversations going on. I don't know if Crotchfeld was a little bit frustrated maybe with either his pitch or the air or whatever the case may be, but you know, on a day like today, I think you need to understand that runs are going to be part of the equation for both teams. You just got to fight through it.
It's going to be a fight at the bat rack today. Even the fly ball by Moss that he really didn't catch very well went all the way to the wall that Borfin had to catch. So ball's flying out of Baum-Walker.
John Bolton has reached base in all 17 games he has played as a Razorback. The count of ball, then a strike. And that one is down and out.
Tell you what, Crotchfield does a great job. Again, I said it last inning. He does not throw pitches down the middle of the plate. He is staying on the corners.
Up the middle, into center, base hit. Bolton is on again. 1 out single, turns this lineup over.
That was the first pitch, and that was center cut fastball. Bolton doesn't miss it. Crutchfield almost got that one with his glove as he threw the pitch. He spun around and almost speared it from behind him.
Here's Josenberger. Reached on a throwing error by the shortstop Foster in the bottom of the first inning. Tavian's numbers are pretty comparable. Hitting .357 against lefties, .339 against righties. His power has come from the left side. Regardless, he's made a habit of getting on base as well. Setting the table for the heart of this Razorback lineup. And down and out from Crutchfield.
We believe that's Josenberger. He has the uniform, but with the mask on,
it's true. Who is that masked man?
No face.
You know, some guys have said they don't like hitting with that C-flap that comes around their cheek because of how it kind of impacts the vision. To me, that would almost be a little unique and bothersome with that mask on.
When it goes up over your nose, I guess you have to be used to it. Bolton with a big lead over there, but still looks like he's jabbing back on the pitch to the plate.
In the dirt, ball 3 to Josenberger.
Seemed like Crutchfield was throwing a lot of fastballs for the first time through the order. And now this is the first batter to face Crutchfield a second time and throwing a lot more off-speed pitches.
Three balls and a strike to Josenberger. Here's the pause before the pitch. It's a strike. Down and in, but able to catch enough of that plate to send the count full.
Getting Crutchfield staying out of the middle of the zone. Looking for a double play ball to end this inning.
Josenberger able to get a piece and foul one back. Arkansas got 3 runs with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. That has been another area where they've done an amazing amount of damage. That's now, by my calculation, 58 runs this year that have scored with 2 outs.
That's just kind of that never say die attitude.
Their opponents have scored only 91 all year. Now, I suppose we could get into a debate, what is scoring a run with 2 outs? If there's a runner at third with 1 out and you ground out, it scores. Is that a 2-out run, or does it have to occur after you record that second out?
I would say after the second out.
I would too, and that's why that 3-run double by Kendall Diggs was a big one for the Razorbacks and for that stat.
I think it's just clutch hitting is what it amounts to. Full count, and so Crutchfield is going to keep Bolton close.
Bolton walking all over at first, but going back to the back. That ball hit in the air, deep left field to the hook pin. It is gone. Josenberger homers from the right side into the Auburn bullpen. That's his 3rd of the year. And the Razorbacks have a 5-1 lead. Ball squared up to left is going to travel, and Josenberger already exceeds what he did last year from a home run standpoint at KU.
A ball up in the zone, and Josenberger just was able to stay on top of it. It was even out of the strike zone, but big 2-run homer for Tavian Josenberger.
And it brings up Stovall, who walked and scored just last inning. Arkansas up to 36 homers. Bid for number 37 is going to die in front of the warning track in the glove of Howe.
Now batting for the Razorbacks, number 11.
2 outs.
Jared Wagner.
So Josenberger had 2 homers all of last year in the same game from different sides of the plate. But he has 3 homers this year, 2 lefty, 1 righty.
Seems like he's really enjoying Baum-Walker Stadium.
Wagner hits a bouncer towards Foster. Another high bounce. This time the throw is true, and the inning will end. Razorbacks get a couple of runs on the homer from Josenberger. Off to a good beginning for Arkansas. 5-1 game.
NCAA Men's Indoor Track and Field National
A
Championship.
lot of winning on the hill. How about not 1 but 2 national championships from the indoor track team, the men and the women. Quite a weekend, and the celebration continues here at Baum-Walker Stadium. This was the opening pitch of the game. I mean, hello.
81 miles an hour on that pitch, and that was wasn't from the rubber. It was from grass to grass. So that looked like 100 to whoever was catching that baseball.
What do they call him? Easy money, I think, on the PA.
I'll tell you, it was easy money with that fastball.
Long jump champion. And I thought he should have just long jumped the ball into the glove of Adcock, but he threw an absolute missile and strike. Thank goodness that didn't short hop the kneecap of Adcock. Arkansas doesn't need any more pitching ailments or injuries.
Now batting, number 5, Kason Howell.
Kason Howell got things going in the 3rd inning for Auburn with the solo shot, and they would love to get something rolling here.
See if McIntyre is able to recalibrate as he faces Howell. Today is career game number 209 in his career. Program record somehow is 246, so he is inside 40 games away from setting that. Over 200 career hits. Chops one into the hole. Backhanded by Bolton. It's going to take an accurate throw, and that one is perfect to Slavin. So Howell retired for the first out of the inning.
And a really great play by John Bolton. Off the bat, you thought, okay, Howell runs really well, and that's going to be a tough play. Nice, strong, accurate throw.
What would your indoor track event of choice been?
Whew.
I'm sure you would be nowhere near world class or a national champion.
As like a 6th grader, I like the long jump.
All right. Here's Cole Foster. Fouls one back and out of play. They don't want to get you on the pole vault or anything like that?
I would have hurt myself.
Probably.
These guys are just absolute freaks. I remember just being around them during practice, and they were doing plyometric boxes with 50-pound weight vests on, and you're just almost superhuman.
Yeah, the season never ends.
Oh,
I mean, you get a national championship. If you had a football national championship, you go on a victory tour. They just go outside and start working out for the outdoor season immediately. That one is hammered, fouled outside of first. Off the bat of Cole Foster, who struck out in the first. I mean, it never ends.
Well, then some of those guys mix in cross country as well, too.
Of course.
So you got indoor, outdoor, and cross country if you're a distance guy.
Just get up and run or get up and train. That's all they do. But they do it extremely well. Foster trying to ride his hitting streak to 12 straight games. Pitch is high for McIntyre.
Foster came in this game slugging .611.
Well, think about what he did last year. I think it was the regional against Southeastern. Hit a 2-run homer from the right side and then hit a grand slam from the left in the same inning.
Wow.
The first Auburn player to do that in quite some time. By the way, also had a 3-homer game, I believe. I think the 3rd homer came in the 4th inning. So for the first inning, you get a homer from the right side, a grand slam from the left. Then you have 3 homers by the 4th inning, had 9 RBIs. McIntyre thought he had him struck out, but pitch was a little bit off the plate, and the count 2-2. Wave and a miss. There's a fastball elevated just a bit. Still in the zone, and Foster waves and misses.
Now batting number 8.
Both those pitchers having a lot of success with a fastball up and really challenging those hitters. And I tell you, it's really tough to catch up to those high fastballs. They look big in your eyes, but they kind of have that late life and just kind of explode to the plate.
I think we got a duct tape issue again today.
We need some like sub-zero duct tape down there, and something that can handle the elements.
It's a big responsibility. Ike Irish bounced to short his only time in. Gonna try and bunt his way on and fouls one back.
We want the slap hitter.
Auburn's recruiting class was number 6 in the country, and it's guys like Ike Irish getting to campus a big part of that ranking.
It was a big getting him all the way out of Michigan.
Fouled back by Irish. Butch Thompson said that Irish's uncle's the baseball coach at Michigan State, but they felt like this kid, if he was going to make it to a campus, it might be in the SEC. Here he is, the 0-2, cut and a miss. McIntyre, a good bounce back inning. Cruises through the top of the lineup in the top of the 3rd. Struck out Foster, struck out Ike Irish, and this was the McIntyre we saw last Saturday. And he's working with a 5-1 lead.
Let's go. Lockdown, go.
It seems like only yesterday you were just a child at play. Life is brief,
You might like that one.
but when it's gone, love goes on and on.
Now batting for the Razorbacks.
It's a 5-1 Arkansas lead as this game moves into the bottom of the 3rd inning. Brady Slavens is going to lead off. Hit by a pitch and scored a run in the 1st. Hit a 3-run homer yesterday, which was his 33rd of his career, which is tied for 20th amongst all active players at home runs. Lifting that a mile in the air to right field. Kirby back, running out of room, but he's gliding to his right on the warning track and makes the catch. Yesterday, that would have been off the scoreboard. Today, Kirby was able to hang with it and make the grab.
Number 8, Chase Morphin.
Just a little too much underneath it was Brady Slavens on that one.
Chase said he hit a ball yesterday to right field and didn't quite miss-hit it. He knew he didn't get anywhere near all of it, and it still traveled all the way out towards the track and right. I mentioned the 5-hole, though, and yesterday Jace was 0 for 3. Troy, it had been 17 straight games. Whoever was batting in that 5-hole had at least one base hit. And Dave joked that Peyton Stovall was just raking in that 5-hole, and he moved him to second, and Peyton was angry with him because he wanted to stay batting 5th because he was having so much success there. I don't know what it had been about that spot, but that streak, all good things must come to an end, I guess, and it did yesterday for Arkansas. Orphan struck out with the bases juiced in the 1st.
Velocity's definitely still there for Crotchfeld. He has got a live arm
He
down
does.
the bottom of the zone right there.
I mean, the electric stuff was sort of the term used with Crutchfeld. And you could see why. He made a catch last weekend on a bunt, a diving play that was extremely athletic too. One that gets your attention when you see a pitcher doing something above and beyond the call of duty defensively. Count is full to Jace Borfin. And the payoff. Front door breaking ball, strike 3.
What a great pitch right there. Really pulled a string and locked up Jace Borfin.
Well, Kendall Diggs with the bases loaded, 2 outs in the first. Sliced this double all the way to the fence. Scored 3 easily. He was fired up. RBIs 21, 22, and 23. Diggs watches that one drift off that outside corner.
Diggs has got power to all fields, so even if you try to work him away, he can shoot one out to left.
Just makes you wonder, looking ahead, how good his numbers can be this year. Not just the home run standpoint, but certainly RBIs as well. He could put together a really nice campaign, certainly on his way. That's out to a 3-0. Outfield straight away, infield as well against Diggs, who will take, and that's at the belt, called a strike.
Sometimes people might think of, okay, why are you going to take this 3-0 pitch? But what it does is if Diggs ends up walking, then it just pushes Crutchfeld's pitch count up. Sometimes that's the thought process from a dugout.
I think base is empty, 2 outs. You might as well just sit on a pitch. Poke down the line and inside the bag at third. See if Diggs might be able to get a double. Heading towards second. Remember, the throw from Stanfield yesterday wasn't that good, so Arkansas will push the issue and Diggs will have his second double of the game.
Big game for Kendall Diggs. A pair of doubles. The first one was a bullet out to left center. This one was just a guided base hit down the third baseline. Really not a chance for Stanfield. He did a pretty good job of getting that ball in a hurry. But when that ball's right down the line as a left fielder, you just don't feel like you've got a shot at somebody unless they don't run very well at all.
Too many bounces, too much ground to cover. Here's Cole. Tuesday night, I think Georgia Tech had 6 doubles in 1 inning.
Wow.
Against Auburn. That seems excessively high, doesn't it? Probably did for the Tigers.
I think that game was described as a couple different games. The first 4 innings didn't go Auburn's way, and the last 8 did.
6 doubles in 1 inning?
That is pretty crazy.
Harold Cole lined to center. Struck a ball well, but was retired in the first.
It almost looked like it crossed up Dial, the catcher, just a bit. He didn't catch that very cleanly.
Bright sunshine and temperatures in the 30s and strong winds at Baum-Walker. Arkansas looking to add to its 5-1 lead. Popped up. Irish racing over, nearing the railing. Was able to get there to make the catch. Nice job. Ends the inning. So the Diggs double goes for naught. We've completed 3 innings. It's a happy hog pen and a cold one at that. Through 3 innings. Here's your scores yesterday. Alabama and Florida ended up splitting a twin bill. How about Missouri taking down Tennessee 9-1? Kentucky over Mississippi State. Paul Skeens amazing again for LSU and College Station. And for Vandy, it was Hunter Owen who threw a 9-inning, 2-hit, complete game shutout with 1 walk, 11 strikeouts.
That's impressive. So it just shows that around the league, anyone can beat anyone.
This is the SEC opening weekend. Here's Bryson Ware facing McIntyre to begin the 4th, lifting a ball high in the air, deep left field. Wagner's going to run out of room quickly, and this ball sails into the seats. Bryson Ware hits his 8th home run of the season. tightens this game up just a bit. He scored both today for Auburn.
Well, an absolute no-doubter for Bryson Ware. That ball was absolutely crushed. It didn't need the help of the wind, but it got a little extra, so I think it cleared the seats out there in left field. You saw Wagner, the left fielder, giving up really quickly, and that's why.
So Bryson Ware continues what has been a strong season. Brings up Justin Kirby, who walked back in the second, a young man who was a first-team All-MAC performer last year at Kent State. He was even the MAC Freshman of the Year way back in 2019 when he hit .313. Last year, 15 homers, 14 stolen bases, .323 average. Kent State, so he is a graduate, getting his 1 year in the SEC. Cued at the very end of the bat.
Back-to-back cutters right there by McIntyre. Might see him really lean on that on those right-handed hitters for Auburn.
Shaking off a few signs from Polk before he's finally ready. Gets the wave and a miss. Kirby will K. It's now 4 strikeouts for McIntyre.
The home run by Ware, that was McIntyre's first hit he gave up.
Number 6.
It's true.
But there was the cutter right there on that outside corner, just off the plate, but just enough where with 2 strikes, Kirby's got to protect that plate.
Here's Ryan Dial hit by a pitch in the first. Do you think those hitters, when they see that cutter coming out of his hands, and there was one, and I guess that answered my question as Dial singles, I'm wondering if the hitters see that ball up coming out of the hand. They think it's going to be a little bit elevated, and then it has that sharp break. That one didn't have quite as much dropping down, and base hit was recorded.
Yeah, I think so. I think sometimes you either give up on that pitch or you think it's going to end up on a different plane. Nice job by Dial. He just kind of guided that thing into left field.
Here's Stanfield. Got an RBI on a fielder's choice when he beat it a double play bouncer in the second. Confirmed by review that he was safe.
Might see if Arkansas's infield just pinches a little bit more up the middle with the speedy Stanfield at the plate.
Here we go.
60 pitches for McIntyre through 3 1/3 innings. Here's the pause before the pitch. Sent out towards right. Borfin was playing deep. He'll have to take it on the bounce. He was extremely deep against Stanfield.
Yeah, I think it was just the wind. And he's playing regular depth. He might have caught that line drive. Nice job by Stanfield, just staying back and taking that outside pitch. Everything he saw from McIntyre that at-bat was away, and nice adjustment.
So a couple of base runners after Kirby struck out, and it brings up Mike Bello. Hit the soft flare that Cole caught, dropped, kicked, and then got the fielder's choice with the force at second. Bello will bunt. That's odd with 1 out, even trying to sneak an attack there, but chopped it foul.
Yeah, you think if you're successful, then all you've done is move the runners up, and Arkansas still has an opportunity to get a double play and get out of the inning. So I don't know if I really like that thought process right there. Just try to drive in a run. Got that runner in scoring position out at second base.
Bello fouled off several against McIntyre in the second before he hit that soft liner. Just like that, he's down 0-2. I think that's always your fear when you try and bunt on that first pitch. You don't get it, and then you take a pitch. Now it's 0-2, and
right.
You're running uphill a bit. McIntyre gets a ground ball foul. Over towards our camera.
Tried to throw that back foot cutter right there, or slider, and caught a little too much of the plate.
Is that Corey the trainer? He's got enough to do. Don't make him go pick up foul balls.
He needs to have his hands working.
He is a busy man with a busy training room. Dave said a few weeks ago he doesn't go in there because it's a mash unit. Bella wanted to swing, but that was elevated.
Oh, Will, ground ball coming.
So homer, a strikeout, then back-to-back singles here in this Tiger fourth inning. Pitch clock at 2, and at 1, it's at 0 just as McIntyre pitches. Lifted towards Wagner. This is a long run. That ball moving away from him, but he hung in there to make the catch.
That was on the borderline to be a ball, because you're right. It looked like the clock struck 0 before McIntyre started that motion.
I thought so too. Maybe you get that extra split second, but regardless, he drained that entire clock.
Boy, that ball almost pushed out to Josenberger in center field. I think Wagner probably called it early. See the effect of that wind.
Moss will wave and miss. Felt like coming in, the wind was blowing straight out to left. Is it more now towards center?
It's just kind of swirling now. You watch the flag, and it does look like it's going out to left field.
14 miles an hour, that might be conservative. Brody Moss flew out to the Walden right to end the second on a ball. I don't know if he got it cleanly, but he still was probably about 5 feet away from having a 3-run homer. Had 3 at-bats in 6 games all of last year. 17 at-bats already this season. Trying to pick up a couple of runs. He's going to take strike 3 instead. McIntyre gets a couple of strikeouts that frame. Worked around 3 hits. Did give up a run. It was Bryson Ware who started the frame. Got one elevated. Hit it to the top of the seats and left for an Auburn run.
I think that ultimately is going to help us down the road, and I think that's what kind of helped us down the road last year in the postseason, was playing all those tough teams and getting us to where we've seen that competition. We've seen how hard we have to fight. You know, we've been there, done that. I feel like that gave us a lot of confidence to go into Stillwater and Chapel Hill and to win in those tough environments.
Well, you better embrace the tough schedule. Arkansas will be at LSU next weekend. They'll travel later on to Ole Miss and Mississippi State. That is this season. A&M will be here. See the games against Vandy. Never stops. As Hudson Polk will lead off this inning. It was announced earlier this week about the schedule going forward once Texas and Oklahoma join the conference. They're going to do away with divisions, and Dave's not a fan of that, and I'm not either, because baseball feels like it's about divisions. And I think Arkansas has just built up some great rivalries with Ole Miss, Mississippi State, LSU, Texas A&M, Auburn, and Alabama. But there's going to be 2 opponents that they're going to play every year. We're not sure who that's going to be. I mean, it could be Oklahoma and Texas, or it could be Mizzou. It might just take Arkansas away from playing Auburn. Auburn may not come here for a while.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, and you wonder the thought process. You assume it's going to be the team you play every year, the 2 teams, to be more regional to try to create those rivalries, but, I mean, who knows?
Well, for Arkansas, it really forces you to think about it. That's going to be a swing from Polk and a strikeout against Crotchfeld to begin the 4th inning. There could be a few somewhat regional rivals. This was not the swing, I don't believe. Polk wanted with 2 strikes, but unable to hold back. But if you're Auburn, you want to play Alabama every year. And if you're Texas, you probably want to play Oklahoma. If you're LSU, you might want to play Ole Miss or Mississippi State. So there's going to be a few schools that are going to have definite rivalries, maybe Kentucky and Tennessee whatever that is. It's going to leave a few that don't have that immediate rival like Auburn has with Alabama.
You think like maybe a South Carolina or Georgia, or even a Kentucky. You just wonder how it's all going to play out.
I mean, that Georgia-Auburn rivalry in other sports is as good as it comes, and we think about the Iron Bowl and what it means, but there's a lot of Georgia people in that southern portion of the state that like to play Auburn. And Bolton takes another strike. Bolton singled and scored in the second.
Crotchfeld really getting ahead of these Arkansas hitters in this bottom of 4.
Pitch number 60, I believe, is handled by Crotchfeld easily. He'll retire Bolton. 70 pitches for Crotchfeld. He gave up 3 in the first, but they were all unearned. A couple of runs in the second when this man, Tavian Josenberger, hit a 2-run homer into the Auburn bullpen.
Yeah, that first inning, Arkansas had the E6, a walk, and then a hit batter. And then the big double by Diggs.
Arkansas has not gone down in order yet, but in danger of doing so here.
7 runs in this ball game combined, and only 7 hits. So there's been a lot of free base runners on the base paths for both teams.
Skipped a few feet in front of the plate. Bounced up, got a chunk out of Dial.
It was a 55-footer right there. See the hoodie right there by Crotchfeld. Hey, I don't blame him. Put everything you can on today.
Backdoor pitch called a strike. 2-2 to Tavian. Crotchfeld working fast, and that one fouled right at the plate. Win today for the Razorbacks would win the series, also be their 12th straight W. They've had a double-figure winning streak now in 3 straight years. See how long they can push this one. That weekend trip to LSU is looming, so that might be one of those that could be difficult. Josenberger, a soft fly ball to right that's traveling to Kirby's right, pushing him back almost near the track. He'll make the catch, and the Razorbacks for the first time today go down in order. We go to the 5th. It's 5-2 Arkansas lead. Well, this young man, he's on a race to get the base. Pat had other ideas. That's stick-to-itiveness, though, right there, Troy.
Oh, he's got that base, and he is focused, locked in to win the prize. It's all about speed. All about speed.
Well, McIntyre back to work as we go to the 5th inning. It's 5-2 advantage. Going to face the top of the lineup 3rd time through. Casey Howell, Cole Foster, and Ike Irish. Howell has bounced to short and also flied to right. See the line for McIntyre. A year ago, Casey Howell had 72 hits. He scored 50 runs. He was hit by a pitch 14 times, so he was a magnet. 19 doubles. I mean, he filled out just about every stat category. That one's up the arm off the glove of Cole, and Casey Howell is going to be on base. 100 miles an hour off the bat, and ricocheted one off the Razorback third baseman.
Yeah, just an absolute rocket right there by Casey Howell. I think that's all you can do if you're Harold Cole at third base. You just hope you can spear it.
Base hit for Case and Howell. Cole Foster has struck out twice, once looking, once swinging. Got the Texans at the top of the lineup. That is a mile-high pop-up. Polk doesn't see it. It's back on top of us, as you could probably hear with the thud.
Sounds like a cannon going off above us.
On top of the roof.
If you feel like Auburn's going to have a chance to put a crooked number up on the board, it's this inning right here. You've got the top of the lineup. You got your leadoff runner on. I think McIntyre trying to think the same thing, trying to keep that ball down, trying to induce a ground ball double play. Outfield playing very, very deep for Cole Foster. Almost at the warning track.
Foster had to spin out of the way after squaring. 2-1.
Arkansas does have some activity down in the bullpen. It's going to be pitch number 75.
In the air, the wind is going to cause some problems here. And that's going to be a Josenberger play. He called off both Stovall and Jace. He had the best angle. Then again, if he's got the sunglasses on under the hat with the ski mask.
Number 18,
Looks like a superhero out there in
He sure
center
does.
field.
I mean, that is the look right there. Come on, Tavian, turn around. You got to have the sunglasses on because it's sunny, but it's also 38 degrees.
They bottom over.
Ike Irish 0 for 2. He's looking for his first hit in the series. You know, we talked about Irish and how unusual it was for him to even get to school because of his draft status. 13th highest ranked player out of the high school ranks last year to actually make it to campus. Troy, he played for St. Mary's Prep in Michigan. His team went 44-0 last year. And I think, and I need to probably find this out, there were multiple players on that team that also had opportunities to get drafted and go to the college route. But when you're 44-0,
I'm just trying to figure out, how do you play 44 games in the state of Michigan?
you wait till it's nice for 2 days and you just keep playing until
you play like every day double headers. 44. I think we played like 20 or something like that. But I guess when you get to the state championship, win it all, 44-0.
They took down all comers.
Great take.
Just a little bit in and low, maybe. Called a ball 3-1 to Irish. One on, one out. Top of the fifth for the Tigers. Trying to get right back in this game as the pitch count climbs for McIntyre. There's a chopper towards Stovall. Could be two. A flip to second. Bolton back to first. Double play. A 4-6-3 DP that ends the fifth.
Well, Brett, it all starts with a great feed by Peyton Stovall. Watch his footwork right here. Spins and pivots and gives Bolton the ball to the chest and an easy relay to first.
Well, blankets are in demand. Bomb Walker. The hog pen as well. Those fans a little hardier stock out there in the hog pen. Peyton Stovall leads off this inning against Crotchfeld. We're not sure if Gonzalez is going to pitch tomorrow. Remember, Crotchfeld, a freshman. Tigers lost 5 pitchers drafted in the top 12 rounds. So they've needed some of these newcomers to step up. And those 3 runs in the first that Arkansas scored were all unearned. Stovall's 0 for 1 as he takes a strike. So it's a different looking pitching staff working through this first month of the season, and now every bit in league play. You know, at the beginning of the year, you go back and you look, Troy, at the previews, and they're talking about Joseph Gonzalez and Chase Alsop as 2 starters, and they have not been in that rotation. There's a ground ball rolled towards Moss, and then loses it on the exchange. So a good job to get there, and then he did the hard part, but then couldn't go from glove to bare hand.
Yeah, he made an outstanding play, really laid out. And I think if he just comes up to his feet, he's got Stovall out. But I think he just hurried just a little too much there, and in that exchange almost kind of tried to flip it from the glove to the hand.
That's
and
right.
Just missed it.
So a base hit for Stovall. Darren Schoenrock, who spent 18 years as the head coach at Memphis, on his way out to the mound, and he is going to place a call to the bullpen. So we'll step aside here in the 5th. Leadoff Razorback on base. Wagner coming in, as is the new Auburn pitcher. I mentioned the pitchers that were taken highly in the draft last year off this Auburn team, but this is the total number of players. Now, pitchers: Burkhalter went the 2nd round, Mason Barnett went in the 3rd, Trace Bright in the 5th, Carson Skipper in the 11th, Hayden Mullins in the 12th. I mean, that's really impressive, to the point where I think Auburn has maybe in the neighborhood of 30 alumni and active rosters at all levels of professional baseball.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Just pumping out quality season after season.
Well, Auburn has gone to the bullpen. Crutchfeld has departed. Tanner Ballman is now in the game.
Another lefty. Bauman will set upper 80s to low 90s. He'll mix in a slider and a change as well. And that 3/4 arm slot, and that fastball's got some sink, so they want to see ground balls from Bauman.
We thought we might see him yesterday because he had pitched in a couple of Fridays as the starter. Maybe he might either piggyback yesterday's starter Tommy Vale or see him today. But at some point when Arkansas had the big inning, I think it made more sense to say Bauman for today.
Yeah, I think so. And another lefty. He's going to face a right-handed Jared Wagner, but then the trio of lefties in Slavin, Sporf, and Diggs. It's probably why he's getting the call and that experience as well.
Here's Jared Wagner.
Jared Wagner.
Jared is struck out and bounced to short. Bauman struck out 100 last year in 77 innings at St. John's River Junior College. Curious to see how this arm slot, though, kind of affects these hitters.
You just feel like Wagner's due to hit something hard somewhere.
He does on the ground, and that ball just took a strange bounce by Foster. Tigers were thinking double play, but at 107 off the bat, that one had some spin, some English, and Wagner gets the base hit.
It had a little hook on that. Got that barrelhead out in front. You see the shortstop Foster. Off the bat, he was moving to his left and had to try to go back to his right.
That hit the lip at all?
I don't know. We might need to see that again to see what happened, because he got a crazy read.
Wonder if it hit right where the grass and dirt met.
Right.
Before it continued towards Foster. Meanwhile, here's Slavins. Brady's 0 for 1, and that one is down and out for a ball. Let's go back and see if maybe this just hit something, or whether he just hit so much English on it. No, it hit before it got to the lip.
I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen an infielder go the wrong way, but it did have a tremendous hook on that baseball. Sometimes you'll see guys hit line drives over the infield and it has top spin like a tennis forehand. I think that one got the barrel head out and kind of hooked it.
With 107 mph off the bat, it might do some funny things. But if you're Bauman and the Tigers, you were thinking bases empty, 2 gone. Instead, now it's a problem for Slavins. Over but low, and it's 3-0. I mentioned, Troy, that some of these Arkansas lefties have done a pretty good job against fellow left-handers. Slavins was 375 coming in compared to 283 versus right-handers. He just has 4 times as many at-bats against righties than lefties. He's going to take ball 4. So infield single, base hit, and walk. And the bases are loaded. The Beer Hats come out, and the Hogs looking for another big inning.
We talked about how well Brady Slavens hits left-handers. I think as a left-handed batter, sometimes you just seem like you lock in a little bit better because you know that everything's going to be breaking away from you.
It's a whole family of Beer Hats.
Fun at the ballpark.
Brought the cousins and the uncles.
Don't have a hat, just use the bottle.
Chase Borfin 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Sweeping breaking ball stays up and in. Bauman has some work to do now. Borfin hits a pop-up off his hand softly towards Moss. Infield fly is called, even though that was not a completely easy play with the wind, and Moss was able to grab it above his head for out number 1.
Works as good as a strikeout. Great pitch by Bauman right there. Just really came in on the hands of Borfin.
Well, guess who's going to bat with 2 guys on base again?
3.
3 on base, right. He came up with the bases loaded in the first and got a 3-run double. Bats with the bases loaded here, and of course he's recorded a couple of doubles. Average up to 351, and he has made a habit out of big hits with runners on base. Almost got hit. That one up and in. He'd really love to get ahead of Diggs, but I know Bauman has to be concerned about making a pitch too good. Just got him again.
Pitch way off the plate on the inside corner, and Bauman's kind of flirting with disaster of hitting Kendall Diggs. You really want to make him work it and earn it at the plate. You don't want to give any free passes right here.
Bases loaded, 2-0 pitch. Down, ball 3. That's at least 7 in a row. That's the 4th RBI for Kendall Diggs. A bases loaded walk. It's 6-2 Arkansas. That's an easy AB for Kendall.
Yeah, never had an opportunity to swing the bat. Nice patience right there by Kendall Diggs. That's going to bring out Darren Schoenrock, Auburn pitching coach, to talk to his left-handed reliever.
I mentioned Bauman made a couple of starts. When you bring him in, Troy, you're thinking we could get 3-4 innings, if not more, out of this guy, and now you're just trying to get an out.
Right, you're thinking he might be able to close this game out. Big conversation. Yeah, having a conversation between Nate Thompson, the hitting coach, and Harold Cole, trying to tell him what the tendencies of Tanner Bauman are. And I think if you come up right here, the tendency as a hitter is to take this first pitch no matter what. And I think you need to be aggressive, but be controlled aggressive. Say, hey, if it's down the middle of the plate, I want you taking a hack at it, because he might just center cut a fastball right here and you could square one up.
He's popped up to first. He is lined out to center. Soft flare, headed to right, base hit. It'll score Wagner. Slavens around third will slam on the brakes. The throw went back to second. It ricocheted off the glove of Foster. And the Razorbacks make it a 7-2 game. That did not take long from Cole after 8 straight had missed. Just a line drive poked to right.
Yeah, I think with Slavens at second base, he had to see if that ball was going to be caught by Moss, the second baseman. Froze for a second. That made Nate Thompson, third base coach, hold up Slavens. I think that was a good decision.
Still only one gone, so Hudson Polk would like to keep adding on for the Razorbacks, who've had a 3-run inning, a 2-run frame, and 2 runs home in the 5th.
Gonna have a pinch hitter right here.
We will.
Hunter Grimes.
Is he going to put his perfect record or perfect season on the line?
3 for 3 on the season is Hunter Grimes. But every time he's come up, he's hit the ball hard.
Now batting for the Razorbacks, number 21, Hunter Grimes.
Hudson Polk had struck out both his previous at-bats. Right here, you just want to try to put this ball in play if you're Arkansas.
I think what you would like to do for the Razorbacks is Will McIntyre maybe has one more half inning. If you can get up enough separation, you could really have multiple options coming out of your bullpen. Maybe save a Dylan Carter at some point.
Yeah, the way the wind's blowing out, I don't know if any lead is safe, but you want to have as many runs as possible.
Not close from Bauman.
Got to come with this first pitch changeup and just got away from him.
Big opportunity for Grimes. Well placed on the outside corner. Slavens at third, Diggs at second, Harold Cole aboard at first. Chopper towards third. Ware looked home, his only throw first. Irish couldn't find it. Everybody safe and another run scores. Ware really thought about coming home to try and get Slavens. And Troy, when he decided against it, he had to kind of throw across his body and hurry.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those tough plays right there. The chopper by Grimes, and you see Ware double clutch right there and had to throw across his body. And I think that Irish thought he came up with that baseball. And see if he was going to be out at first base, and I think he might have been. Just scoots under the glove of Irish and Grimes. They call that a hit? I believe so.
To give him a base hit. Here's John Bolton, the 8th man to bat.
It just kicks out of the bottom part of the glove of Ike Irish over at first base.
Pitch to Bolton is fouled right back. What Arkansas has done an amazing job of this year, and I'll document it a little bit later on, is the number of 4-run innings and 5-run innings and 6-run innings. Even had a 9-run inning last weekend against La Tech. They're back at it again, looking for more than just these 3.
Like you said, Brett, it does so much for your bullpen to when you get that nice separation of maybe who you use and who you hold and save.
Two balls and a strike. Bauman again needs an out. Fouled away. Josenberger, top of the lineup, waits on deck. There's Tavian and Stovall. Everybody getting ready to hit. Bases full of Razorbacks. Those beer hats have provided some warmth for a long period of time this inning.
I feel like this is a really big batter for Bauman in Auburn. If you can just maybe get a double play ground ball and get out of this inning with just 3, again, the way the wind's blowing, you feel like you've still got a chance.
Here's a 3-2. Lifted in the air to right center. This is going to drive home a run. Who wants it? It'll be Howe, the center fielder, with the catch. Diggs will tag and score. Cole will move up. That's another 4-run inning for the Razorbacks. This offense can be unrelenting at times if you don't catch the ball cleanly or you put runners on base with walks and hit batters.
Kendall Diggs making sure he's got plenty of time to score on that sac fly, and that's what you've got to do. You can't even come close to leaving early.
Josenberger had a 2-run homer back in the second. Troy, that is the 9th time this year Arkansas has now had a 4-run inning. Not 4 or more, just 4 runs. They've scored 9 different times. I mean, this is game number 19.
That's a big crooked number.
How about 7 more 5-run innings? So that's 16 different half innings where you've scored 4 or 5 runs.
That's really crazy.
A couple of 6-run innings in that 9-run inning. So you're basically getting one of those a game, basically on average.
Right.
And how many times do you see one half inning outscore your opponent's total production over 9? It feels like it happens a ton.
I think the biggest thing is taking pitches like that last pitch right there. That's a changeup down in the zone. And if you swing at, that's a ground ball. That's out number 3 of this inning. Now Josenberger sitting on a 2-0 count and an opportunity to do some damage.
Runners on the corners, the 2-0 pitch, a good one for a strike. Bauman's been working hard. That's 25 pitches to record a couple outs. Line towards left, traveling directly to Stanfield. Played perfectly, inning over. Hogs will have to settle, if you will, for 4 runs. Have they blown it open? 7-run cushion.
For Brown, Olivia Pichardo, the freshman from the Queens, New York, making her first career at-bat. Hits left-handed, played for USA Baseball.
This was Olivia Pichardo, becoming the first female to appear in a college baseball game. A bouncer to first. She plays for Brown. She had been a part of the national baseball team. Troy, you didn't realize there was a female national baseball team, but that's the case. Pinch hit in the bottom of the 9th inning. First woman to appear in a Division I baseball game. Brown lost 10-1. I think as the story goes, as she was trying to make this team, they told her you can come in the fall, but we're not guaranteeing you a spot. She had to earn it with her production in the fall to get a chance. It's taken a few weeks. They got her into a game yesterday and grounded out.
Very cool.
This is Bryson Ware. He scored both runs for Auburn. In fact, homered in the 4th, walked and scored in the 2nd, facing McIntyre, who's at 77 pitches. So we'll see if Olivia gets a few more at-bats, gets a few hits here in the games going forward. Bryson Ware might have another home run. Back to the fence in left field. Wagner turns around. It's gone. Second home run of the game for Bryson Ware. He has now scored all 3 for Auburn. And twice he has led off innings with solo homers to left. It's a 9-3 game.
Good hitters keep on hitting, and that's Bryson Ware. Just went down there and caught a breaking ball that was on the outer third and
Number 14.
didn't really square that one up, but he got a little help from the wind, just enough to push it over the fence in left field.
When we had wind last year, and it was all the time, felt like it was blowing in from right field. I mean, almost every day. And Justin Kirby will take one outside. I don't know how many conversations I had with Robert Moore about how many home runs I felt like he lost last year.
I bet he lost at least 5 or 6.
Oh, at least. 1-0 pitch for a strike over the inside corner. At times this year we've been wind neutral, which is really rare. And now the last couple of days it's been pro hitter. It was not pro hitter last year. I don't know if this is El Nino or Nina or whatever it is, atmospheric rivers, but it's been better for hitters. I don't know if McIntyre's elated with the wind conditions today. He's still working with a big lead. Trying to retire Kirby. Gets a wave and a miss.
That's why we're sitting in the 30s. That's that stiff northern wind. It usually blows straight in from the south, which means straight in from right field. I think most fans and players would rather have the warmer temperatures and winds blowing in from right. Good take by Kirby right there.
Kenna's gone full. I'll take anything right now.
Hey, at least it's sunny.
3-2 pitch. That's strike 3, bottom of the zone, but Kirby rung up. And McIntyre has 6 Ks through 5 1/3 innings.
Right at the bottom of the strike zone.
That's Roland now catching. Felt like Polk maybe helped him with one earlier as far as just bringing it up a bit. Our friend's going back to work. Duct tape's still an issue. Here's Ryan Dial. That's a fly ball to right. This is what McIntyre did last week, Troy. Just pop-ups and harmless fly balls all day long.
Well, 16 of his 27 recorded outs against Louisiana Tech were pop-ups or fly balls, and that's exactly what he did. Just the ability to miss the barrel.
It's an art form. It really is.
Well, it allows you to stay in games longer because you're not having to use 5 and 6 pitches to try to strike somebody out.
There's a dribbler towards third, fielded by Cole, throwing on the run, and McIntyre, after that leadoff home run, gets 3 quick outs. See if that might be the end for Will. Hogs up by 6.
I'm getting backyard cookout vibes. Inside? Oh, that's the new DQ Backyard Bacon Ranch Signature Stack Burger. Now you can take the backyard anywhere with honey barbecue sauce and house-made Hidden Valley Ranch. You guys are taking this backyard anywhere thing really seriously. Maybe next time you'll take that DQ Backyard Bacon Ranch Signature Stack Burger to, you know, the actual backyard.
We need a hose.
Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Let's go. Walk down, go.
It seems like only yesterday you were just a child at play. Life is brief,
You might like that one.
but when it's gone, love goes on and on.
Oh, the chicken dance.
Gotta love it.
Fans a little bit delirious after St. Patrick's Day yesterday, a basketball game coming up. Frigid conditions. Still having a good time. There's Peyton Stovall leading off the inning against Bauman. Arkansas is trying to win this game to win a series. It would be the 6th consecutive year they have started their SEC series with a winning series. Just puts you in a good spot going forward.
Well, you know there's going to be some really tough series, and if you can pick up a W against any ball club, it's a small victory. You're right. It just sets the tone for the conference play.
In the air on the right side. Let's watch Moss start to backpedal. He was able to hold on. I would say it's always important to, try and win series. Obviously at home, Troy, but in a year when the Hogs will go to LSU next weekend and go to Ole Miss and go to Mississippi State and go to Vanderbilt, you really need to hold serve at home.
That's a gauntlet. You're absolutely right. When you're going to be in some hostile environments. I've heard the box gets a little loud and has a few fans there.
Well, it hasn't in recent years, but I would say now going forward with a team that's #1 in the country, they might get it back to the glory days. It's a quick pitch. Wagner watches it miss, 1-1. I would sense it'll be electric next weekend. The 1-1 is on the corner for a strike. Jay Johnson's done an amazing job recruiting. Arkansas talks about the recruiting class coming in next year, and it is by far the best in the country. The following year, I think LSU, by far the best in the country. Each of the next 2 years as Wagner waves and misses. In fact, Troy, as I was going through that projected draft this year with all the SEC players, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6, you get to 11 and there's a high school third baseman named Aiden Miller who's committed here.
Right.
Whether he makes it or not, I don't know.
I would doubt it.
Not at 11 he won't.
You've got to recruit him, but that's some big money tough to turn down.
Brady Slavens takes one up and in.
Look, Bauman, he is on the bump, ready to go.
He's just working quickly and effectively. Roped over near the tarp. Jumping Bobby Wernes got out of the way. We'll go hand this to a youngster. What do you say? Thank you, Coach Bobby.
But Bobby has a few friends over there.
Oh, I bet he does.
Some of those foul balls. Bauman is really working that off-speed stuff, the changeup.
You could see where he could get into a rhythm quickly.
Yeah, I really like the way he pitches. Keeps your defense on their toes. And hitters don't have the luxury of trying to slow him down out there on the mound. They got to get back in that box.
Foul back by Slavens. Count holds at 2-2. Harmless fly ball and a strikeout. That's way in.
Brady's already taken one hit by pitch today. He'd come around to score. Another one of those free base runners that scored in that first inning.
Slavin strokes one down the line and left. What a piece of hitting there. It's going to take a bounce, couple of hops to the screen in front of the bullpen, and Slavens will have a 2-out double. Doubles have been his calling card this year, and I think sometimes it is that approach which has really contributed 8 2-base hits.
Yeah, a season ago he'd be pulling off that baseball. Now he keeps that head down and just shoots that thing into left field. He's a much improved hitter over his career as Brady Slavens.
Jace Borfin like to get a base hit today. He's 0 for 3 with a couple of Ks. Popped up softly his last time in. Arkansas had a 2-run inning, a 3-run inning, and a 4-run inning. They've not had a frame where they've just pushed across a single run. And they have 9 runs on 9 hits. I think we mentioned it earlier. They had more runs than hits. I don't know how many times in this homestand alone we've looked up. It's been 8 runs on 6 hits, 7 runs on 5 hits.
Scoring in chunks. It's been the calling card of the Razorbacks this season.
One ball and 1 strike from Bauman. That was a pitch I think Chase swung at when it was traveling right at him, and he was hoping that this thing breaks. He caught it early, but that's one where you're hoping it breaks. Otherwise, it's going to hit you as you're swinging.
Self-defense swing, I think. See if Bauman doesn't try to go away from Borfin right here.
Do the same pitch like that. He didn't swing this time. Couple of hours in the bottom of the 6th. Slavens doubled with 2 outs. Better swing, fouled right back. At some point, does this crowd dwindle as they head for either warmer conditions or basketball?
I think the basketball fans have slid out, and these are your diehards.
Anybody in the first base side of the stadium is a true diehard.
Yeah, they are in the shade, and it is got to be chilly.
Borfin lifts one to right. Kirby started back, now comes racing in to make the catch and end the inning. The Razorbacks get a double from Slavens. They do not score. We go on to the 7th inning. Arkansas by 6.
I'm getting backyard cookout vibes. Inside? Oh, that's the new DQ Backyard Bacon Ranch Signature Stack Burger. Oh, Now you can take the backyard anywhere with honey barbecue sauce and house-made Hidden Valley Ranch. You guys are taking this backyard anywhere thing really seriously. Maybe next time you'll take that DQ Backyard Bacon Ranch Signature Stack Burger to, you know, the actual backyard.
We need a hose.
Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Let's go. Lockdown, go.
Love, it seems like only yesterday you were just a child at play. Life is brief,
You might like that one.
but when it's gone, love goes on and on.
Well, Will McIntyre done after 6 innings. Got 5 fly ball outs, 6 ground ball outs, struck out 6. Bryson Ware got him for a couple of solo home runs. In fact, Ware scored all 3 for Auburn. On a day, though, where the wind might make it pro-hitter and anti-pitcher, able to get through 6 innings with a lead. And Dylan Carter comes on in relief.
Good opportunity for Dylan Carter, the Bentonville native. It's been rock solid so far this season for Arkansas. Kind of a bright spot out of that bullpen. He's going to sit in that upper 80s to low 90s, that fastball. And just a guy that works down in the zone and another contact guy, kind of like Will McIntyre.
It's going to be 8, 9, and 1 for the Tigers. Mike Bello is going to lead off. 43 games worth of activity last year as a freshman for the New Jersey native. 0 for 2 today with a fly out to left.
Quick pitching.
Auburn was able to get Cole Foster back this weekend. I know they would love to find a way to get Bobby Pierce healthy. I mean, Coach Thompson told us before this series he felt like at the end of last year Pierce might have been their best offensive player, and they had the best offensive player overall in Sonny D.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. And Pierce has been having a nagging hamstring injury, and when you play a game in the 30s and 40s, you really don't want to run a guy out there with a tight, sore hamstring.
Yeah, especially when it's the entire weekend of the same temperature. It's Groundhog Day as far as that. Pitch to Bello, rolled right to Peyton Stovall, soft flip, out number 1. Good beginning for Carter.
Yeah, a lot of times you get one really bad weather game and then you get a couple nice ones. Not this weekend.
Yeah, hoping for some relief at some point. That says it all right there. You got the sunglasses and the gator, or the sunglasses and the hoodies.
Hands in pockets.
A lot of that.
Players on defense.
Brody Moss takes a Carter pitch at 92. Down and out.
This is a pinch hitter, Gavin Miller.
It is indeed. So Miller is going to hit for Moss. He pinch hit in the 9th inning yesterday against Hagen Smith and popped up. .364 average with 4 hits, limited ABs. Fouled right down at the plate. Might have got a foot of Miller as well. Hawks had 3 runs in the first. They led 5-1 after 2 innings. Continue to try and look for a little bit of separation. Outs becoming more precious for the Tigers. A bouncer to Bolton. Able to scoop it, throw on the run. Kind of slings it on the run, 2 outs.
Took a couple extra steps to gain his composure and then delivered a strike over to Slavens at first.
Almost underhanded that thing.
I know. He just kind of like flips that, definitely sidearm. But he could throw a mean wiffle ball, don't you?
Well, I bet he could.
From that angle.
Back to the top of the lineup for Kaysen Howell. Got an infield base hit in his last at bat, one of 5 hits for the Tigers. So, Troy, they've had a total of 11 hits now in nearly 2 games. And 3 of those have been home runs, including 1 from Howell yesterday and 2 from Ware today. But they have not been able to string them together. That one is down the line in left. One thing Howell has doubled in his career. He's made that his calling card, and he's going to have one here.
A great piece of hitting right there by Kaysen Howell. He really kind of sets the tone for this offense, and kind of as he goes, so does the Auburn offense. And again, just great job of keeping this baseball fair. So easy to hook that ball foul and get that barrel head out in front, and that tremendous speed. He just glides in easy.
He is the active leader in college baseball in career doubles. It's number 58. He's had a few of those. Foster bats, he's 0 for 3. Might have one more chance to extend his hitting streak to a dozen. One ball and a strike to Foster. Came into the game hitting .444. Last year he played at second, playing short this season. Strike called inside edge. Good pitch from Carter. It really felt like Foster was not looking for that pitch down and in.
Yeah, definitely showed in the zone. I think he was fooled to think he thought that Carter was going to go away. And sometimes when you're leaning out over the plate, even a pitch as a strike doesn't feel like one.
Fouled away by Foster. He's trying to get Ike Irish up in the heart of the lineup, maybe even get to Ware again. He'll be looking for a 3-homer game when he bats next.
The lucky thing for Arkansas, Ware's just come up with nobody on.
One ball, 2 strikes. Carter ready. Another one fouled softly away.
Foster currently hitting .421, 2 home runs, 17 runs driven in.
Wave and a miss. Gets the K on Foster to win the inning.
Well, after the double by Kaysen Howell, Dylan Carter throws a nasty breaking ball to punch out Cole Foster. Hogs up 9-3.
I'm getting backyard cookout vibes. Inside? Oh, that's the new DQ Backyard Bacon Ranch Signature Stack Burger. Now you can take the backyard anywhere with honey barbecue sauce and house-made Hidden Valley Ranch. You guys are taking this backyard anywhere thing really seriously. Maybe next time you'll take that DQ Backyard Bacon Ranch Signature Stack Burger to, you know, the actual backyard.
We need a hose.
Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Fans all sufficiently stretched out. They've called the Hogs. They've enjoyed a 9-3 Razorback lead. Christian Herberholz comes on to pitch.
Herberholz has got a really live arm. He'll sit in that low to mid 90s, big sweeping slider, and he'll mix in a really hard changeup as well. He's that 3/4 release, and fastball does have some late life to it.
Going to face the lineup of Diggs, Cole, and Rowland in the bottom of the 7th inning. Kendall Diggs has doubled twice, walked with the bases loaded. He's driven in 4 runs. He doesn't know what to do coming up with no one on base. Herbert Holz is the 3rd pitcher used by the Tigers. Tomorrow, the series finale at 2 o'clock. I don't believe we have a starter for either team at this point.
No, I think it's TBA both ways, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Soft nubber to short. Foster waited for it to get the true bounce. Throws out Diggs to begin the Razorback 7th.
Good job by Foster right there. That baseball kind of came up on him as it got to the dirt. Strong arm. He just, with a wrist snap, flipped that thing over to first base.
I would say, though, if Auburn starts Joseph Gonzalez tomorrow, that'll be a step in the right direction for that team for their health.
Yeah, I think so.
Harold Cole takes one up around his dome. Drove in a run with a single back in that 4-run 5th. Gonzalez was the guy who was really kind of the pitching star for the college national team that went to the Netherlands, I believe, over the summer. So it would have been a candidate for a Friday or a Saturday start, but they just like to get him back in there. Pitched once this year. Arkansas, of course, took Hagen Smith out of that Friday spot. He threw 3 innings yesterday, more than 40 pitches in relief of Holland. He got the save. Another strike, 3-1.
It'll be interesting to see how both these ball clubs kind of work this Sunday ball game tomorrow.
There's Hagen all bundled up. Chopper to 3rd to Ware. And the inning has 2 quick outs. Yeah, I would say if you're Arkansas, you take 2 wins. You take the series victory. For Auburn, you'd really like to get Gonzalez in there and feel confident about a chance to then be able to get out of town with 1 W. Rowland came on defensively after Grimes hit for Polk. His first chance to bat. Rowland drove in a run with a base hit, scored a run yesterday, part of a 1-for-4 as he caught both Holland and Smith. Nothing in 2 quickly.
Herbert Holz is looking like he's really ready to go out there on the mound. Another one of these Auburn pitchers working quickly.
Strike 3, inside corner. Soft ground out, strikeout. Herbert Holz with a very efficient 7th inning, wasting little time. Able to cut down the Razorbacks. Gets the K, ends the inning.
Well, Bryson Ware has been the offense for the Auburn Tigers. Scored all 3 runs, has hit 2 bombs, and has really felt it at the plate. But for Arkansas, they got things rolling in the 1st inning after an error, a walk, and a hit batter. Kendall Diggs delivers the 3-run RBI double out, and that really got things rolling for Arkansas. And then the 2nd inning with a runner on, Tavian Josenberger hit one into the bullpen. And Arkansas leads this thing 9-3. A whole lot of offense for the Hogs today, Brett.
Indeed. See the 4 RBIs for Diggs. McIntyre got out of there 6 innings, 3 runs. Dylan Carter, his 2nd inning, facing Ike Irish, and that one fouled softly away.
Come on, Mike. Come on, Mike.
If Carter would go a full 3, it might mean he would be unavailable for tomorrow. And again, we're not sure about the status of Hagen Smith. You kind of get to that 35-40 pitch plateau on Friday. It makes it a little more difficult, especially for somebody who has been a starter and not necessarily that true reliever. But we'll find out together.
Yeah, some pitchers' arms just bounce back different. You know, some guys can throw every other day. Other guys, you know, they kind of get used to that week-long break.
I would say, considering he's been a starter, there'd be some hesitancy, I would think.
Especially in that first weekend,
sure.
and being so cold as well, too.
Maybe 10 more pitches yesterday than would have made it an easier decision. Irish bounced into a double play in his last at bat.
You might see guys like Gage Wood and Austin Ledbetter and people like that coming out of the bullpen tomorrow.
Think that'd be a good bet. It's ball 3.
Let's see Dylan Carter trying to pitch very carefully to Ike Irish. I don't blame him.
Here's the payoff. On the ground to short. Fielded by Bolton. Just throws in time. Irish retired. Part of an 0 for 4 day. And that's the first out in this 8th inning.
Got a little bit of a shadow from the light tower right at home plate. That's kind of funky looking. Good job by Bolton just gobbling up that ball. It
looks like the Chinese space balloon is hovering right over home plate. Here's Bryson Ware. So he has homered twice. He's going for a 3-homer game. Tell you what, homers have been in full force as of late. Earlier this week, Missouri's Hank Zeisler had a 3-homer game. Comebacker to Carter, nice play. Connor Tate of Georgia did it. Ware will not, at least here, for the second out. But we've already had a couple of 3-homer games. Jared Jones had homers in 4 consecutive plate appearances for LSU. Chase Borford of Arkansas homered in 4 straight games.
And there's more home runs in college baseball overall, too. Ball's really flying out of the park.
Sure is, and who knows what that might be now that we've settled into conference play. I think the ACC was in their league action last weekend. Here's Kirby, a couple of strikeouts to his ledger. But the grind has started now for just about everybody.
Yeah, we talked about it. It's almost like a reset for everyone. It's like there's the non-con part of the season and then the conference part. A lot of those non-Power 5 conferences, that's where they have to live. They've got to play well in the conference and then win that conference tournament.
But just got all the cold gear on.
Looks like he's ready to go hunting.
Might be. Kirby'd like to hunt a hit. It's been a rough day. A little bit low on that pitch from Carter, 2-2. Carter trying to put up a second 0. He'll get the wave and a miss from Kirby. A perfect 8th for Dylan Carter.
Really clean inning for Dylan Carter right there. A pair of ground outs and then the punch out. Completed that 1-2-3 inning.
It's a 9-3 Arkansas lead as the Razorbacks come to bat in the bottom of the 8th. Since Arkansas is up 6 and it's cold and the basketball game is underway, if you promise to support our sponsors, we'll excuse you if you want to go watch hoops.
Can't blame you.
John Bolton will lead off the bottom of the 8th. Herbert Holes cruised through a perfect 7th. Bolton's had a sacrifice fly. He singled, scored a run. Of course, knocked in a run. Arkansas again hoping to go to 15-1 in this homestand. At some point, we need to go back and document all that has transpired in the world over the last 30 days since Arkansas started this homestand. I mean,
a whole lot of craziness.
I mean, a month. We still had a couple of weeks to go before the college basketball tournament started. Now they're in the NCAA tournament, barreling towards the second weekend. Fouled away.
Well, Christian Herberholz has looked really solid on the mound. Just an easy 92 to 93 miles an hour. Throwing a good slider as well.
Front door breaking ball. Locks up Bolton. And gets the strikeout to begin the bottom of the 8th.
Back-to-back strikeouts looking. Got Parker Rowland to end last inning and start this inning with John Bolton. Tried a backdoor slider that caught a lot of the play right there. Bolton knew it.
Josenberger gets to turn around and bat left-handed. So he has a chance to homer from both sides of the plate after getting one from the right side in the second into the bullpen.
Well, the wind's going to help him, and it has not slowed down a mile an hour.
Quickly, 2 strikes.
Pitch had some really nice sink to it. Well out of the strike zone.
So 4 straight retired by Herberholz since he's come on in relief. 5 in a row and 3 straight Ks. As Josenberger heads back to the dugout.
Really turned over that fastball. It might even have been a changeup.
I think so.
At 87 miles an hour, that's a really nasty change.
Whatever it was low on the spin rate, so it had some tumbling action. Here's Peyton Stovall. Peyton got an infield base hit in that big 5th inning. Arkansas had the 3-run first, 3 unearned runs on 1 hit, a double. 4 runs on 4 hits in the 5th. Stovall part of that fun. As that pitch rolls in for a strike. Normally there's some intensity in the crowd when you get to these conference weekend series. It's a quiet affair downstairs.
It really is. And there's still a pretty good amount of people here, but
they're bundled up.
I think they're frozen.
Roller to first. I feel like we're at a library. Irish will take it himself, retire Stovall. Sends us to the 9th inning. Auburn down to their final 3 outs, trailing by 6 runs. If you're just tuning in right now, you're seeing that shot and you're saying, what a beautiful day in Fayetteville. Look at the sunshine, it's out.
It's got to be 75.
Oh, what a delightful day to kick off spring break week. Well, it started at 37 degrees. I don't think it's warmed up. The winds have necessitated those coats. Those fans have hunkered down like a mule in a hailstorm. They're just taking their beating. They don't want to even get up. Well, in 3 outs, they can head for home if they have mobility left in their extremities.
It's 37. It feels like 28. So
28.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Here's Ryan Dial leading off. The Carter back out there for a 3rd inning. Indoor sports seem a little bit better when it gets to that point on the thermometer.
I was walking into the park today and a fan said, we need a dome. I don't think you're going to get that in college baseball, but.
Well, they're playing in Minnesota again. They've been playing in the Vikings Stadium for the last month. They don't have to leave town, but they play indoors.
Can't beat that.
It looks kind of fun, actually. Old Miss played up there in a tournament a couple of weeks ago. Here's the 1-1, a little chopper, handled easily by Carter. Soft flip to Slavens. It's 5 in a row sit down by Dillon. Arkansas might have the chance to get through these first 2 games with a grand total of 4 pitchers used, albeit 4 good ones.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see who Arkansas runs out on the bump tomorrow.
Here's Stanfield. You take strike one. Have a guess?
Maybe Gage Wood.
Really?
I think it's be pitching by committee tomorrow.
I might guess Ledbetter. Here's the 1-1.
That could be why Ledbetter didn't pitch yesterday. Thought they might use him to start on Sunday.
I guess we'll all find out together. That's a strike. Anthony's inside edge. TBA gets a lot of starts on Sundays in the SEC. Auburn put out a graphic for their weekend rotation, and their Sunday guy, they had 3 pictures. The third guy was just face down, so you couldn't see who it was. You could see a uniform and a hat.
Classic.
You just didn't know who it was. Nicely done. Here's a 3-2. Chopped foul over near our camera guy. Hopefully he's all right in the third base well. He's bundled up too. He wasn't born yesterday.
They've got to be.
That was terrifying.
Payoff pitch. On the appeal, yes, says Danny Cricks at first. Stanfield was turning around to take off his gear, and he said, what? I was struck out? I don't think he believed it. I'm kind of curious myself to see this replay.
Yeah, the pitch was out of the zone.
Well,
yeah,
probably enough. So, Tigers down to their final out. Here's Mike Bello. He's 0 for 3. Troy, 6 hits today for Auburn, 6 yesterday. Even the 2 home runs from Ware were solo shots, so that made it difficult. Offensively,
yeah, I think Arkansas has done a good job with the wind blowing out to keep Auburn in the ballpark. And again, this is a good hitting Auburn team. They're trying to get all their pieces put back in that lineup. The injuries have really plagued them.
last couple of pitches have just missed a little bit down, so it's 2-1 to Bello. Last chance for the Tigers, trying to keep this 9th inning and this game alive. Big chopper, Stovall moving to his right, can't secure it cleanly, and Bello will reach.
We just popped out of Stovall's mitt. Looks like it caught a lot of palm instead of in the pocket right there, and just couldn't make that play. Charged that an E, didn't they?
Indeed. So Gavin Miller, who pinch hit in the 7th, will bat for the 2nd time. First pitch strike from Carter. Slavin's not holding Bello at first. Carter concentrating on the hitter. Rolls in a breaking ball for strike 2. Tigers down to their final strikeout in the 9th. On pitch number 48, Dylan Carter wanted a verdict a little bit low. He has really worked that pitch try. I mean, he's probably been an inch away on a couple of different pitches at the bottom of the zone.
Yeah, he's definitely keeping that ball around the knees or a little bit below. You're not going to get hurt down there.
And then he clips Gavin Miller.
Man, that's got to hurt. Hope he's okay.
It hurts Miller, and then for Carter, you're like, my goodness, I could have been out with the ground ball, and then I'm 1-2 on the 9-hole hitter, and now I hit him.
And this fastball rights up and in, and
get him on the hands?
Hands or wrist or something. It doesn't look good. There's not any padding up there. That's a tough kid in Gavin Miller.
Also turns this lineup over for Kason Howell, who's singled and doubled in his last couple of ABs. Sometimes that 27th out is the hardest one to get, even when everything had been falling in place for Carter and the Hogs. A couple of quick outs to begin this frame.
Let's go, Casey.
Pitch knocked down by Roldan. Been able to catch the last 3. Arkansas would improve to 17-2 with the win. Claim this series in the opening weekend. Lost that second game of the year to TCU. Lost one at home to Eastern. That's been it. Roland's going to try and lock in Carter. He's at 51 pitches. Still needing one more out to end the game. Auburn would fall to 13-5-1. They had a 12-12 tie with USC. Those Pac-12 teams on those commercial flights. I mean,
that just messes up your scheduling.
Maybe we can get that conference a TV deal at some point, and they could flip a few charters to some of these programs.
I think that was a good visit by Parker Rowland right there, just going out there and trying to settle down Dylan Carter right here. Auburn's would love to get some momentum to carry into tomorrow.
I think the problem is if you extend this much further, you might have to get somebody up quickly because you don't want Carter to throw 60-some pitches and leave. Two balls and a strike. That's that pitch again. That's a little further down than some of the other close misses he had. He stayed away from the heart of the plate, but he's also finished out of the zone. Three 3-1 to Howell. Drilled to center. Hit well. Josenberger with room. The masked man will make the catch and end the game. So Carter puts up 3 scoreless. Arkansas takes the series, and Troy, the Hogs have won 12 straight.
Yeah, Arkansas is really on a roll, and I think it's the big crooked numbers. 3-run inning, a 2-run inning, a 4-run inning, and that just kind of sealed the deal for Arkansas.
Handshakes and high fives for the Razorbacks. Game 3 of the series will be tomorrow, 2 Central, 3 Eastern time. We'll be here. Hope to have you along on SEC Network Plus. For Troy Eklund and our entire group, I'm Brett Dolan, thanking you for watching. Go watch basketball. You're excused. Once again, our final score. The Razorbacks take down the Tigers 9-3. So long and good afternoon from Baumwalker Stadium in Northwest Arkansas.